and watching these guys nearly every day, basically any time that I could watch them on lunch break or whatever at work. I've been watching these guys, and it really helped me to get my spirits up when I have a low day. And even if I just want to have a little bit of fun on lunch break, that would provide me with that little bit of excitement in my day before I went home and I started working on my game, or I was with my girlfriend, whatever. And she had just started getting into it recently too. She just started getting into it a couple months back, before Drunken Peasants changed. And I know that if you are the DP cast, one of the DP casts watching this may sound really fucking stupid to you. This may be annoying. This video already may sound like a piece of shit. So I want to let you guys know that before I come at you with this bullshit, before I come at you with this, that I am just telling you guys this. I am telling maybe the fans too of your show this in a way that I respect you guys. I like you guys. I think you guys are really cool in like a less I don't mean to suck your dicks, but like I like this show. I used to like this show, and I know you guys have charisma together, and I know the shows used to be awesome in my opinion. So this is all going to be my opinion. I mean, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with it, but anyways, let's get into this. I'm sorry to waste your time if you are a fan or if you are DP, but like, I just had to get that rundown. So now, at my current standing, I have not been watching the show for 2 months. Now, why is this a big deal? Because I used to watch the show, like I said, nearly almost every day. And now I can't get into it. I can't get into one show. And there's a big reason for it, because the original host of the show, let's say 3/4 of the show, is gone. And they're not gone totally, but they're usually gone, or they're not all together. They're not whole. They're not, the one magnificent DP. You know what I'm saying? They're not awesome anymore. They're not like that. And the reason for this is because new hosts have come in and they've tried to replace the old host in a way. And I know they haven't really necessarily tried. Like, the people themselves have not tried to replace the host. I love Jeff Holiday. He's a really funny dude. I love Billy. He's a really funny dude. But it's not DP. This is not what DP was when I came and subscribed to this channel. And I realize that channels change over time, but this is such a drastic change. It's almost like what happened with Game Grumps. And I don't know if you guys know about Game Grumps. I'm sure you probably do. But it's almost like what happened with Game Grumps after John left. It became a totally different show. And there was a lot of people that held on, but I would say there's more people that held on with Game Grumps than with you guys. And what's going on with you guys is a lot of the fans are leaving, and I don't know if that's totally the case. Like, I don't know if like you guys are hemorrhaging fans. You may not be. I don't know. I can't see your statistics, and I guess I could if I really spent time and looked into it a lot, and I haven't done that kind of research. This is kind of more just me off the top of my head and, how I feel about this. But I started to see people agreeing with me on this, and that's where I had to... I felt like I had to make a video. Obviously, I didn't. It's just some stupid shit on the internet, but let's say your guys' show has made my life a lot better over time. It has really enhanced my life because it's made me laugh and it's made me happy. So I feel like you guys should be, you guys should definitely be proud of that you have made at least one person, and I know you've made like tons more than me, laugh and had a much better day than they were having. You guys have changed people's lives. And I think to let that original four... it's not a trifecta, a quadfecta, I guess. For you guys to let that dissipate and to let that become something that's a rarity, I don't think that's a good thing. I think you guys may not be, you may be self-aware, but what you put out does not look self-aware of what's going on here. So basically, the not a third of the podcast, 3/4 of the podcast left to move to a different state. And if you're DP, you already know this. And when that happened, 3/4 of the show was usually gone. Okay? and it was replaced with Billy and Jeff and whoever else was on, whatever else kind of guest was on. And I haven't been able to watch the show a lot, so I can't tell you all the guests that have been on, obviously. I know that Billy and Jeff are mostly on it because I just see it in my subscriptions. I'm still subscribed to DP. I just don't watch them. And I also still give money to DP on Vimeo on demand, and that doesn't make me any better than anyone else on the fucking YouTube. You know, that's I'm just telling you, that's what I do. I still give money to the show. I still believe in the show. You know, I still think you guys can bring this shit back. Because it's not the way it used to be, and I know you're gonna, you know, you're probably gonna hate what I'm saying. You're probably not gonna, you might not take it as valid criticism, but everyone knows it, and I think you guys know it a little bit too. That the show is really not what it used to be, and you guys may think that's a good thing. You know, you may think you may think that's better. The show is better now than it used to be. But ask yourself, I want you to ask yourself, is the show better than it used to be? To you guys, is the show now better than it used to be when you guys were 4 in a room? Now ask yourself, you know, let's say like Ben, would you rather continue doing the show with the new hosts? Or if you had a chance, now this is a totally hypothetical situation. If you had a chance to have all DP members, all four of the original DP members back together, if you had that chance, would you take that chance? If it had no repercussions in your life, and I know that's the thing, it would. You would have to move like this. But if we didn't have these kind of things in our life, in your life, would you take that chance? Would you rather have the original cast? And I know, like, especially, I don't know if this would offend the new members of DP, but I love Jeff. You know, he's, like I said, he's a funny guy. Billy's a funny guy. They're not DP though. They do not make up what DP stands for to me. And it's not so much what it stands for. It's more so like, this is about the charisma that you four have. That TJ, Scotty, Ben, and Paul have. You know, it's funny, I didn't actually like Paul whenever he first started, but dude, the dude's, I have to admit, he's grown on me. He grew on me really fast, actually. I originally was like, I don't really like listening to this guy. He's kind of like, I think my original criticism was like the thumbnails of him were so ugly that I'm like, oh my god, I can't even watch this. It's disgusting. No, but seriously though, like, but seriously though, no, I guess I got less of a pussy over time, and I started to like Paul. I thought he was really funny, and he's definitely not as ugly as the thumbnails, but but you know, it really grew on me, and these four guys, it really grew on me as someone that I would just like listen to and have a little bit of fun on my lunch break, and I do miss it. I really do miss it, and I hate to come off as an asshole to you guys. I hate to come off as an asshole to any of the fans. I think a lot of fans agree with me though. I really do. I do think a lot of fans agree with me on this situation. And so I'm going to go through some of the comments that I was seeing, and that's kind of what pushed me to make this video, because I haven't been watching DP for a while now, and I tried to watch maybe a couple episodes, and I really couldn't get into them, and so I've been feeling this for a while. But I guess I switched over to watching something else for the meantime, and I just have totally not been watching DP. So I'm a former, as of now, I'm a former DP fan, and I'm sorry to say that. I really want to be a continued DP fan. I bet a lot of people do. I know a lot of people, a lot of fans of the show want to continue being DP fans. They want this charisma to be back. But right now, it's not in that situation. I know you guys can find a way to do that. Maybe if TJ, like, here's some of my solutions. Maybe if TJ, Scotty, and Paul can make it to every show, and this should not be a lot to ask. If TJ, Scotty, and Paul can make it to every show, because all they have to do, they have to turn on the computer, turn on their mic, and be there for the show. And it's 2 days a week, and I don't know if you guys changed your schedule. I think you were saying something about 3 days a week now. But even still, 3 days a week, 2 days a week, I'm sorry, but that should be doable. That really should be doable. If I go to my job 5 days a week for 8 hours, I think a couple hours a week should be doable. I really do, guys. And I know that's gonna sound like I'm an elitist because I have a job like and like that's not involving the internet or something. No, I'm not saying that, guys. I make games. Like, I understand. I have a job on the internet as well. Like, I have 2 jobs. One is in real life, and one is on the internet, and one I make games and sell games. So I understand. In a way, I'm definitely not making as much money as you guys though. So I can't say I totally understand. But guys, there is a way to make this work, and I think, if Ben moving would be like the most difficult way. It may be the most easy way, but I can't say for you guys. That would have to be your own personal, not battle, but your own personal doing. You would have to figure that out within yourselves. But right now, guys, I don't see the show as the same. So let's look at some comments and let's see what other people are thinking other than me, because I feel like they really relate to me, and I didn't think they would. I thought I was kind of the only person that was thinking this. But now I can see that I'm not, and that's kind of what I want to make this video, just to speak a little bit up for the fans, because the fans, I'm sorry guys, but the fans really do help make the show. Like, the fans really do play a part. It's important, and I know this is in some ways maybe hard for you guys to totally accept, because I know you guys kind of make fun of like the fans, and I think it's kind of a back and forth thing, okay? But it is something that I think you definitely need to 100% realize and accept, because when you listen to the fans a while back, whenever it was all about the kayfabe shit, when you guys listened to the fans and stopped kayfabing all the time, that shit got so much funnier. Like, your shows got improved like insanely. Your shows improved so much that I was just like, I couldn't stop watching. Like, I would catch every single show. Like I said, I would catch every single show that I could. I would start buying like DP on demand videos and stuff like that. The shows they improved fucking so much when you guys started listening to the fans. So I think you should listen to the fans. Never throw away criticism that could be good just because. Don't laugh all criticism off. There's some criticism that's constructive. And that's what I'm trying to do with this video. I know it may not seem like it, but there's some criticism that is constructive that can really help you. And I know, because I use people's constructive criticism in my game, and it helps me so much, because other people matter. Like, people, even though they may be some random guy on the internet, it matters. I promise you. And I know you know that. You have to know that. So we're going to say, I've definitely noticed distancing myself from the podcast, since it's not the original 4. It's just not the same. It's kind of like when a favorite band loses a lead guitarist and a vocalist replaces them. The band never sounds the same, so you just slowly distance yourself and you eventually part ways. This guy, Laird Swan, I don't know how the hell to say that. But anyways, he makes a good point. Sick Puppies, I just stopped listening to them after they changed their the singer, I believe. They changed their singer, and I stopped listening to them. But not only that, it's like I said, Game Grumps. John left the show. John was a funny motherfucker, and he wasn't an SJW like Aaron is. I'm sorry, but Aaron is definitely an SJW type person. John is the opposite. I think they may have clashed on that, and I think that might have been one of the reasons that John left. And I'm glad for him. I really am glad for him that he left. Even though Game Grumps is not funny anymore, and it's pretty trash. I'm just kidding. It can be okay. It's just really not my cup of tea anymore. But it used to be a lot funnier than it is, and the charisma was there. Now it's not there anymore. There's charisma between Aaron and Dan. And it's really gay. Like, they really just suck each other's dicks a lot. And I don't mean like gay as in homosexual. But it somewhat is, I would say. But they really do suck each other's dicks a lot. There's not a lot of fighting on that show, and it's just not as funny that way. We'll read the next comment. Well, that's unfair. I can't for personal reasons pay for Patreon stuff, and episodes like this one are the only ones I watch. All this means I'll end up watching less, basically. So what they said is they had last night's Patreon show. They had all 4 peasants on it, and it's not too late to see if you become a patron now. Basically, they're saying if you pay to become a patron, you can see the show how it was originally intended. Do you see where this is not good? This is not okay, DP. I'm sorry, guys, but this is not how you're supposed to be when you subscribe to a channel. You're supposed to see the channel as it was intended. If not, you need to name it a different channel. I know you're not going to do that because it sounds crazy. It sounds like a weird idea. But guys, really, you can continue the show. You can do whatever the fuck you want, but it's not smart. It's fucking retarded. So I'm gonna call you out on your bullshit. Like that's fucking retarded. Like you can't keep doing a show and be completely different, like a completely different cast. When Game Grumps did that, you saw I saw the decline in the humor, and it was completely different humor. I didn't like them. I didn't watch them anymore, and I know a lot of people jumped off at that point. So you can see what happens whenever the formula completely changes. And I know it's for reasons, that are financial and whatnot, but you guys gotta stay on this shit. Gotta agree with the general sentiments of the comment section. 4 peasants and the guest here and there was cool, but now they slam Billy, Jiff, and this new douchebag Joe down our throats. I've never seen this guy. It's starting to go downhill. Good thing TJ's videos are still good, especially Abandoned Hope. I still watch TJ's videos as well. I was a big fan of TJ way before Drunken Peasants, so. Okay, DP is starting to turn to shit. I think there's so many people that agree with these, and I mean, obviously, I've liked these. I agree with these comments, and I'm a long-time fan of the show. I don't think I'm a bad person. I don't think I'm some random internet troll. I agree with these, and I'm just a normal guy. I think you guys need to listen to these people to an extent. I think you guys need to listen to an extent, because all criticism comes with some kind of skepticism from you as well. Obviously, I get that they're having financial troubles because of YouTube bullshit, and I think that the comment section is a bit harsh, but I do think that you should do shows with TJ and Paul more often. I'm pretty sure you get more donations. It's kind of become the Billy show. I'm gonna give you guys some money soon, since you have been entertaining me since 2014, but I hope things get better. See, that's why I'm saying I'm still a I still get DP on demand, and I honestly feel like I need to get out of that because I haven't watched DP on demand in a while. And that's not to make me sound like an elitist, like I said, but oh yeah, I give you guys money, so I have say over your show. No, I don't have shit say over your show. It's you do what you want with your show. But this guy's trying to be really nice, and I think he really means well for you guys. I think most people mean well for you guys when they say this. This girl's kind of retarded. Why do you want money for all the work you do, guys? No. I want to pay. I've paid DP money for making shows. I just don't want to have to pay them to see the show that is originally intended. This guy says, now we have paid for the content that we have actually subscribed for, and instead we get other people doing the format we know and love. Unfunny Comedian did the same, but since they were not the peasants, it's not the same show. So what I understand here is he's saying that, this is what we subscribe for is the 4 peasants. Or maybe, if you were earlier, the 3 peasants, because I've seen a lot of those videos as well. I went back and watched the old ones, but yeah, really what they're saying here is they're just saying, they subscribed for the original 4. They didn't want a complete cast change, and that's what's happened. Everyone but Ben is gone. I never imagined the show falling so far that the appearance of the 4 peasants is a special occasion. See, that's what I said. It should not be a rarity to have the original cast. The way this is worded shows your guys' total lack of self-awareness and how out of touch you are with the fans right now. This is what I'll say about this is I don't think you guys are totally self-aware about this. I think you guys know that this has been a problem. I think you guys know that the show is not as good as it used to be, and I think it simply has to do with real life factors that are going into this, and I think you guys can fix those. I do think you guys can fix those with the solutions that I've given. I do think that Scotty, TJ, and Paul can show up for every show. I do think that that's possible. If that's not possible, I don't understand why. I don't understand why, and I would need. I feel like I mean I can't demand an explanation, but I would need an explanation to understand why all four peasants cannot show up for every show. This guy's saying the show was really good. See, like I feel like the show was really good, probably on the private show, with all them being together. But if you have to pay for that, and that's a rare occasion, that's not okay for the entire show. That's like the overhead of the show, like the entire show combined together. Not the overhead. I'm sorry. The entire show combined together should not be like 90% new cast. It should be 90% the regular cast. That should be the case. Let's see. Does anything else need to be said? Either listen to your fans or continue hemorrhaging their views. So, yeah, I feel like I agree with most of these comments, guys. I don't want to be an asshole to you guys. Like I said, I love the show. You guys have great charisma together. I really think you should consider the fans' advice. I really think you should listen to them. I really do think that. And it really will help the show. It will help the show. I don't know your statistics right now. You may be getting more and more fans every day, constantly. I'm sure you do get more and more fans because the podcast is known. It's big. But you have to realize that the people that love the show for the original four. And people will start to unsubscribe. And you may not hemorrhage views and fans. But your show is not the same. And is it really for the views and fans? I mean, to an extent, like that's kind of ironic. Like that's kind of the opposite of what I'm saying. Like, I want you to kind of do it for the views and fans. But I kind of think you guys should be in it in some way, and I think you are in it in some way for the actual humor of the show. I mean, I would assume you actually are in for the humor of the show and not just money. And like I understand that everyone is in YouTube to an extent for money. Like you make a YouTube channel and you make videos because you eventually want to get money. And I understand that. But if you had the charisma that you guys used to have, I do honestly think that would bring in more views and more money. And that's just, something you guys got to think about, and something I think you guys should discuss how you can get all four peasants on the show consistently, or at least semi-consistently. At least I would say, 70% of the show should be the original four peasants. I don't hate Billy. Like I said, I don't hate Billy and Jeff, but I really don't want to hear or see them all the time on Drunken Peasants. I don't want to have a mixed bag. I don't want to go to Drunken Peasants and hope I'm going to see fucking Scotty or TJ or Paul that day. I want to know that I'm going to see Scotty, TJ, and Paul, or at least Scotty and TJ, or at least Scotty and Paul, or at least TJ and Paul. You know what I'm saying? I want to know that I'm at least going to see two peasants or three peasants on the show, and I don't know that right now. And I should as a fan, as most fans of the DP show, we should expect to see the fucking host of DP on DP. Not one host, no, four hosts. We should expect that. That is what we should expect as fans. Okay? When you listen to a band, when you go to imagine just going to a show for a band. Imagine going to a show for a band. Even a free ticket to a band. Imagine that. You go to the fucking show for the band, and the drummer shows up. The fucking drummer shows up, and that's it. That's the show. Imagine how ridiculous that would be. I think we as fans expect four peasants. For the original peasants. We don't want the drummer and the keyboardist to show up. We don't want the drummer and the keyboardist and the fucking maraca guy to show up. No, we don't want that shit. We want the drummer, we want the guitarist, we want the singer, and we want the fucking bass player. So I think you guys need to take some advice from fans. I honestly do. Thanks for watching, guys. I know this has been super drawn out, and I've said things probably 20,000 times. It's unedited. It's rambling. Like, I'm sorry. Like, if this is, not your style, you can't listen to this. This is kind of what I like to listen to, though. So I know you guys do a live show, and you understand how this is kind of the way that goes. That you guys kind of just talk a lot about different shit, and I just kind of ramble because that's my personality. So thanks for watching, guys. This has been Nice Pasta, and I am out.